Good evening and welcome back to No Fans in the Stands TV. Nick Magas here with Joe Henricksen and Rick Malnati, set to bring you this Catholic League matchup between the Fenwick Friars and the DePaul Prep Rams. Ready to go for this one, a Catholic League matchup between two top 25 ranked teams. We were talking before the game about what a mess this Catholic League is, and by mess we mean a lot of good teams, a lot of teams winning a lot of games, and also those teams losing some games that they shouldn't necessarily be losing. It's been a question the whole season of who's for real and who's not. Joe, we'll start with you. Who do you like in the Catholic League? Who's going to come out on top when this is all said and done?
Well, you're looking at a league that's just, a little bit top-heavy, but
it's always been top-heavy.
Yeah. But, I mean, you're looking at teams that have been kind of beating up each other, but you're looking at the top of the league right now at a team nobody had projected to be in the mix, and that's Brother Rice. Bobby Frazier, the coach there, has done a fantastic job. He's put themselves in position to win the Catholic League. DePaul was the favorite coming in, and they're still in position to take care of business. They take care of business tonight against Fenwick, and then they get a game next week with Brother Rice. It's a league that Rick, you're very familiar with, and you played in this league. They know each other well. Very, very good coaches at the top. You talk about Bobby Frazier, Tommy Livatino, Tom Kleinschmidt, down the list. Catholic League's I think on the uptick, on the rise. You got some young up-and-coming teams that weren't even in the top part of the league right now, like a St. Rita and a Mount Carmel. And there's just a lot of upside in the Catholic League, as we're still talking about those top teams. But there's a lot of talent coming.
Well, like you said, Bobby Frazier has done an unbelievable job, and he's winning close games. It's not like he's blowing anybody out. I mean, he hit a three-point shot in the corner against Fenwick to beat him. Other games have been close, but there's something to be said about a team that knows how to win, especially at the end of the game. But he's got a tough schedule facing him in this following week. And
they've just played really well together. He's taken the sum of his parts. Bobby Frazier is, I do a City Suburban Hoops Report Coach of the Year. Bobby Frazier's right there at the top of the list of candidates for Coach of the Year this year.
Well, of course, he hasn't lost.
Well, I don't just mean Catholic League Coach of the Year. I mean, the entire Chicago area. He's done a fantastic job.
Well, tell me, better player, better coach?
Well, he doesn't have any of the stars, and there's a lot of stars in the Catholic League right now.
He's got a good sophomore player.
Very good guard. Yeah, I just think though right now, you look at the talent in this league. Starting tonight with the tandem we're going to see, Bryce Hopkins, headed to Kentucky. We've talked a lot about him on past broadcasts. He is just a guy who can carry a load, unlike most high school players.
Well, he has carried a load, and the load got a little heavier, Joe, because Fenwick had two kids, one at start, one in the top 6-7 players. Both Division I football players, both juniors, and both opted out of basketball because if they stayed with basketball, they were going to miss their first game in football. And so you're missing, toughness. And now Bryce, that's a big load for Bryce. Already had to carry a big load with a young team, mostly junior-laden team, and now he's missing two of the top 6 guys.
Another wrinkle in this COVID basketball season. That's something we've never seen before. Guys opting out.
Crazy.
Joined another sport. It's a nuance that we've never really seen or experienced, and that's just kind of what this season's been all about. And it's crazy as we wind down. I mean, we're down to the last week of the high school basketball season. About 8 days left. Well, the public league gets one extra week. We'll have some games in the city. But, as far as games that matter, all year long, you guys, we've talked about what are they playing for.
Yep.
Conference championships, more so this year than any other season. And here we are now in the last 7-8 days of this season where a lot of big conference championships will be decided.
And maybe a little guacamole at the end of the year. They might be playing for a little rice and beans and guac. Come on, Joe.
The Chipotle, we're a week away from the tournament. We'll be talking a lot about that during this broadcast.
Okay, let me stand on my soapbox for 5 seconds and talk about kids opting out for football, because I think not intentionally, but I think the IHSA put kids in the trick bag a little bit by starting football and making them have 10 days of practice when you know anyway in football, the first how many days are no pads. So why couldn't they done some kind of a waiver? Because kids playing basketball are every bit as good shape as football teams. So
conditioned, yeah.
Yeah, why in this, and I get it, I get the 10 days normally, but this is not a normal situation. And you make a junior, multiple juniors, some seniors make decisions. What are you teaching them about team? You know, your whole experience, I don't care how great you are individually, your memories always have stuff to do with your team, your teammates. I mean, that's what high school sports is all about. So I'm disappointed.
And to be able to finish it off here in the last week, you know, this game, just like this game, is it normal where you accustomed this gym would be full, but just to kind of finish out this year with your teammates and your classmates, it's just a sad situation.
Yeah, it's still depressing to come into a gym that's empty. But we're going to do what we got to do.
Stepping out for the national anthem. We'll be back your way to go through the starting lineups here on No Fans in the Stands TV. Ready for the final matchup of our Chicago High School Games of the Week of the regular season here on No Fans in the Stands TV. This one between Fenwick and DePaul. And we touched on Bryce Hopkins already a little bit, the guy who will be doing the majority of the work for Fenwick this evening. On the DePaul side, it's a couple of guards that have them come in as the favorites in this game. Joe, what can you tell us about T.Y. Johnson and Rasheed Bello?
I don't know if there's a bigger fan on the outside of DePaul of T.Y. Johnson than myself.
Maybe Porter Moser.
Oh, yeah, correct. You know, it's funny. You know, Porter Moser always kind of calls and checks in, and how's T.Y. playing? And
he'll call after this game for sure.
Yeah,
no question.
You know, he's just a dynamic scoring guard. Can play both guard spots. He scores in a variety of ways. Really sneaky athlete. And then his counter, you know, runs with Rasheed Bello.
Oh, my. He put on a show defensively when we had their game against
Yeah, we saw his athleticism, his quickness. The ball pressure those two guys place on opposing guards really sets the tone for DePaul defensively. And I think that's kind of the underappreciated. I think that's underappreciated in high school basketball in general. It's high school basketball in their defense, because sometimes it's hard to pinpoint. It's just the average fan to know how tough a team can make it on an opposing team, and that's what DePaul does.
Well, you find that a lot in the Catholic League, Joe. Guys, teams, Tommy Levatino's team, they can really muck it up. You go to the East Suburban League and you think about Bennett. You know, those are teams that's just hard to score against in the half court, and the same thing holds true for DePaul Prep.
Yeah, it's just a grind when you play these types of teams. Every single time you go against them, it's tough to prep for them, and it's even tougher when you actually have to go through it.
And then you look at Fenwick, they're all about scoring. I mean, they're going to get up and down the floor. They don't care if you score, they're going to try and outscore you.
So here we go, the final game of the regular season on No Fans in the Stands TV. All of this leading up to the Chipotle Clash of Champions that will take place next Friday and Saturday.
Last time we saw Matthews. He had just come back. He was a little out of shape.
There you see a little bit of athleticism. You know, what's going to be interesting, you guys, is to watch the defensive matchup. I talked to Coach Tom Kleinschmidt with Brian Matthews. Now, as Rick, you mentioned, missing those football players, there was a defensive matchup for Matthews to a guy like a Mike Reese, who's a tough physical kid. Now he's going to probably have to guard some perimeter guys, and that's going to be a mismatch problem defensively for DePaul.
Yeah, but if they keep getting to the rim like that, it doesn't matter.
That was Rasheed Bello. We talked about his defense pregame, but a nice finish right there at the basket for number 3 from DePaul.
He's already got 4. I mean, he's not a scorer. He's got 4 in the first minute.
Heading to Wisconsin, Parkside, Division II school, Luke Riegel. Excited to get him.
Okay.
That's Gabe Madej knocking down the triple for Fenwick to get them started on the offensive side.
As a coach, though, I hate when my team shoots 2 3-point shots the first 2 possessions when the ball never gets inside. Like, I don't care if we shot a 3 after the ball got inside, but you got to penetrate the defense a little bit.
Particularly when you have a Bryce Hopkins, too. I mean,
yeah, and he's got to get a touch in scoring position every time down the floor. And Bryce is unselfish. He'll give the ball up.
And he's got he'll give the ball up, and he has he's an instinct passer. I mean, he has a good feel for passing.
Yeah, he can handle it. You know, the thing it hasn't done well so far this year is really shoot the 3. And freshman year, he was the best shooter on our team here at Fenwick. And we had DJ.
Madej dialing it up once again, and that's good.
Maybe I need to apologize. Maybe this was the plan.
Forget the interior.
Mayday. It's Mayday.
We'll just put up some 3s. Take that, Malnati.
6 points for Fenwick in a row to start the game. All 6 of them belong to Gabe Madej.
It's 6-4. Madej against Bello. Oh, that was a good pass.
Yeah, slipped inside, but a little too hot.
Nice
Brian Matthews to handle.
Nice help there, too, by Bryce Hopkins.
Yeah, Bryce is going to detour a lot of people from going around the rim because he'll block your shot, he'll stand in and wall up.
And he'll bring the ball up the floor.
Kleinschmidt said they are going to.
Another one. Let's get 4.
Oh
yes,
he
did. And Kleinschmidt forced to call a timeout.
Wow.
Hey, everything I said about the 3, I'm taking back. You know, I was a coach for the 2000s.
That's right.
Early, Joe. I'm not a coach for the 2020s.
You should have came like in the 80s before the 3-point line.
Oh, my God.
No, I mean, you know, to get that kind of offensive, you know, what that does, you guys, is it really spreads the defense out. You know, you're going to have to space the floor defensively. And we know what Bryce can do on the block when he gets that matchup. If you got shooters that are consistently knocking some shots down around Bryce Hopkins, that's a dangerous combination for DePaul to have to contend with.
And Fenwick's best shooter, Dave Geezer, hasn't even touched one yet.
Yep.
Why would he?
He'll load it up. How would you like to have been in Kleinschmidt's huddle right there? You think you can swear with a mask on?
It's easier, I bet.
Good hands.
Matthews lost it out of bounds, but it was poked away by Fenwick. It'll stay with the Rams.
When Denham Jewett gets them going defensively, they're tough. Jewett's another football player, but he decided to stay and play basketball.
Isn't he a big-time football player?
Yeah, I think defensive back. Shoot from there, matey.
Pull-up 7-footer from Bello wouldn't go.
Geezer light one up. 5 shots.
Geezer from the corner, and that's good.
5 possessions. The ball's never got inside the 3-point arc. I don't know, Joe. To me, that's fool's gold, but we'll see.
3 minutes in, is Bryce taking a shot?
No.
Hopkins?
No, maybe he's got an assist.
12-4.
You know, Bryce
in
gets an
favor of the
assist
Friars.
even if he doesn't shoot because he's got 3 guys on him all the time. This is what Fenwick wants Notre Dame to get DePaul Prep to get in a 3-point shoot contest with him.
I mean, you couldn't ask for a better start.
Do you think? We're 4 of 5 from 3.
That's Johnson lighting it up from
There's
the corner.
a dunk
That's in
on
and
the
out.
other end.
And here comes Jewett the other way, but he couldn't control the pass.
Hey, no twos.
draws the
What is he
foul.
doing? He should have pulled up for three. What's he doing? Can't take it in there. Even if it's a fast break, you got to pull up. I was watching the NBA the other day. Did you? I can't remember what play it was, but all of a sudden a guy comes down like 1-0, pulls up and hits a three. I'm like, are you kidding me?
That's NBA basketball for you right now.
I don't watch it.
I'll wait for the postseason.
The only thing I like is the show on TNT with Charles Barkley.
Kenny Smith?
Kenny the Jet Smith. You got to love that show, Joe. We need a high school show like that. Although you guys on your podcast.
No Shot Clock podcast.
Yeah,
there we go.
You guys, you and Mike do a great job. Best thing that ever happened to high school basketball, especially now because we don't get any coverage in the Tribune. Oh, my.
Johnson coming down the floor like a runaway freight train and threw the ball away.
I'll give that first turnover to T.Y. That second turnover, I don't know. You throw it to a guard. I think Thomas has to catch that.
So it's 13-4 in favor of Fenwick.
Who called that
4.5 minutes to play.
Is that the mask timeout? I don't know.
I thought it's under 4 minutes mass timeout.
So
I don't know. Kleinschmidt's probably one of his cousins reffing the game, so Tommy needs a timeout. They blow the whistle.
Yeah, I mean, the Catholic League, we kept talking about the talent that's just been rising and some young talent. I was thinking about St. Rita with all their young talent.
Best
freshman
class.
group since, I think personally, since been mid-90s when they arrived at this school, Fenwick, led by Corey Maggette, who's got his number retired up here in the rafters of the gym, and number 50, Corey Maggette. One of the most impressive-looking freshmen you'll ever see as a high school basketball player. Mark Treadwell and Chris Williams, that great freshman class, heralded class, won a lot of games here, got down to Peoria in 1998.
Well, Treadwell left early. He didn't stay at Fenwick. He left early. I think he went to Westinghouse. But the other two were monsters. And they had a 6'10 kid. I can't remember his name, but a 6'10 kid that went to UIC.
Foul called on the floor right there as Hopkins tried to go to the basket.
So let's talk about Reed a little bit because I haven't seen him play. I heard a lot about the kid when he was in 8th grade, but tell me what you like.
I mean, James Brown's a 6'8". The first time I went and saw him, Rick, he was a 6'5", 8th grader, and for 5 minutes, I couldn't tell if he was left-handed or right-handed, which is always a great sign, to show that skill level for a young kid. But, yeah, St. Rita's got a huge, bright future. Roshan Russell, a bright young coach, done a nice job there. They're a program to watch, not just in the Catholic League, but in the state.
Fenwick really battling in the lane right now, creating turnovers. That's a deep kick out from 3, and Johnson knocks it down.
Might want to give him 4 on that.
You see that range right there. I mean,
it was deep.
Geezer with the basketball now gives it up for Hopkins.
I think Bryce has a good matchup to go inside.
Midday with a miss there. Tried to get his own rebound, but it's picked up by Stewart.
And again, that was last 2 possessions were both threes. Things are going to even out. You're not going to stay shooting 4 out of 5 for the whole game.
80% from 3, I think not. Jeez.
It's Trayvon Thomas burying the triple from the far side of the floor.
Well, I got to tell you,
3 minutes to play
the pace,
in the first quarter.
The pace is this is how Fenwick wants to play. Fenwick's very comfortable playing like this.
Yes, they do. And they started out slow the last time we saw him here against Notre Dame. And it's been a completely different story this time as Midday once again.
Mayday.
12 points already.
I'm just a little surprised at the looks
that
Fenwick is getting right now.
No doubt about it.
Particularly because they haven't even attempted to go inside to Bryce Hopkins.
When's the last time Fenwick's had 16 points and Bryce had none of them? That's a good look down the court. Why shoot the 2? Take it out the 3.
Good grab right there by Jewett.
Oh, there's money right here.
Inside to
money.
Hopkins, who finishes at the rim. Jewett got up to keep that ball from going out of bounds on the sideline. Grabbed it with his fingertips and kept his eyes up, got it inside to Hopkins for an easy 2.
Fenwick has been a team that has been kind of spurty. And I'm not talking about just point spurty. I'm talking about effort spurty. They play really hard for a period of time, get a lead, and then they relax, let the other team back. Every one of their games, the Notre Dame game was the buzzer beater. The Brother Rice game was the buzzer beater. The Ignatius game was overtime. The Mount Carmel game was overtime. The Leo game was overtime. Every single one of their games, they've had leads, let people back in, and then play them in overtime.
And some of them shouldn't have been overtime games.
No,
I mean,
no. They play to the level of competition.
Yeah,
they'll play up and they'll play down.
I mean, you're playing a Notre Dame in overtime and a Leo. That's a big difference.
And that's one thing, when you're playing with a guy like Bryce, you just expect him to, be able to do whatever he wants whenever he wants, and you get to look at him a little bit. Today, they're not looking at him. They've scored 16. The surrounding cast scored 16 out of the 18.
T.Y. Johnson rolled his ankle there on that drive, hobbling.
And that's right after Arnett came into the game for the first time.
You don't want to get hurt this season because you got no time to recover.
Arnett dealing with an ankle injury over the past few weeks, and he's been a big part of this DePaul team.
Yeah, good-looking junior.
Normally one of their better starters, but he's coming off the bench here as Brian Matthews sat down a moment ago, and now T.Y. Johnson hobbling around the bench.
Big fan of Arnett. He's just still coming along. A late blooming kid who, I saw him last year on the sophomore level, got a little taste of varsity action, but not a whole lot.
DePaul went to a zone. Bryce, you're not going to stop Bryce if you let him catch the ball 3 feet from the basket. If it wasn't for a shortened season, I think Bryce had a chance to beat Corey Maggetti's scoring record here at Fenwick. And Corey Maggetti was a monster from his freshman year. Bryce didn't play a lot freshman year.
Coming off 35 points versus Leo on senior night is Bryce Hopkins.
Let's see how DePaul handles being without their leader right now.
Inside of a minute to play in the first quarter. Lewis tries to go baseline. Pass to Arnett, kick out. Thomas, who hit a three a moment ago, will pull up once again. That won't go. Ball out of bounds. It'll stay with the Rams.
T.Y.'s okay.
Yep, he looks to be just fine. His yellow shoes checking back into the game for DePaul.
He's getting ready for Loyola with those yellow shoes already. Gold. Speaking of Loyola, Joe, holy cow. We got to talk about them. They're the best. Well, Illinois is having a great season too, but there's a dunk. If they throw it, they missed it.
Half a minute to play in the first quarter.
They're going to hold for one.
10-point lead for Fenwick, and yes, they will.
What's the odds on them shooting a three at the buzzer here? Remember against Notre Dame where they made mistakes at the end of quarters. Let's see in this shortened season if they've been able to adjust.
The end of quarters killed the Friars against Notre Dame.
I'm calling Geezer on a three. Bryce penetrating, drawing two.
With a kick?
Yeah, getting Geezer a shot. He's in the right corner right now.
You just got one three ball already, and that was Hopkins losing the ball. Fought for on the floor, and Johnson can't come away with it.
That's Bello
that
with
will
a great
end the
play.
first quarter.
Ricky,
Bello wreaking havoc on defense in the backcourt once again.
You talked about T.Y. Johnson heading to Loyola. That really kind of speaks volumes about where Loyola's at as a program.
Well, they've recruited Chicago like crazy.
He's done a terrific job. That is a team loaded with Illinois products throughout the Chicago area, including a couple of guys that were on that Final Four team, and Cameron Krutwig from Jacobs in the suburbs, and then Lucas Williamson from Young. But you see a T.Y. Johnson, it just kind of keeps that rolling at Loyola, and to have this is a underappreciated mid-major recruit.
Well, when you talk about college coaches, there's multifaceted of what they have to be very good in. Not only teaching on the floor and, being able to deal with alumni, raising money, making their school have a high profile. But recruiting is where everything starts.
It's the lifeblood of the program, and I've written about this. I've talked about this. In my 25 years of doing my recruiting service, the City Suburban Hoops Report, there's two coaches that have stood out to me as far as being active outside recruiting all the time.
Head coaches?
Head coaches. Assistants are always doing it. Not all head coaches are as active as Porter Mosier is at Loyola. Prior to that, Bruce Weber was everywhere when he was at Illinois. But, Porter he's an engaging personality. He's great with families in the living room, in the office, when they're on visits. And it's shown. He's built that program to the point where it is the program right now in the Missouri Valley Conference.
But I got to tell you, the thing also tremendous about Porter is how he evaluates talent. And I know that's your job, Joe, so I know you talked to him about that, but he is gifted in finding guys and seeing things in guys that other people, everybody wants to know now, who's Loyola recruiting? Like,
exactly.
Did Loyola offer him? I'm sure everybody did. If Loyola offered him, there's something special.
I think Porter and Loyola holds off on offers because of that now.
Yeah, Bryce says, give me some three.
Nothing there for Hopkins as we get going here in the second quarter. We remind you to tweet your questions at NoFansTV.
We got one question about Triton College, Joe, down the street. Oh, there's a layup. There's a layup.
Nationally ranked Triton.
Cherry picking is Stevens, and he had it blocked, but a good follow right there from Jewett. TJ Stevenson tried to get the layup to go, but Bello hustling back on defense pinned it against the glass.
Well, I was bad-mouthing these guys how low the rims were when we were at Notre Dame when they were dunking, but after looking at the hops right there, I might have been wrong.
Trayvon Thomas off the back of the iron. Jewett going coast to coast and gets a friendly roll.
Good move by Jewett. T.Y. didn't want to pick up his second foul.
Fenwick's playing just really loose. You know what I mean?
Really loose.
They're just having fun. They're getting out in transition, getting their shots, getting looks.
And I'll tell you what, DePaul's starting to play offense like Fenwick's playing offense, and that's not their game. Fenwick likes this type of pace. They like shooting threes. They like multiple possessions. That's not right in DePaul's wheelhouse.
Well, they like to get to the rim, and you see how Hopkins is really affecting their ability
Wait
to do
a
that,
second. We got a
especially for the
commercial,
guards.
guys. We got a commercial. We might have to stop at the Oak Park Malnati's after the game. We got a salad. We got a pizza. We get a little pasta and those cookies. Are you kidding me? Tommy, spinning the dials from Dot Productions.
I do warm those cookies up, and I put a little ice cream on it.
Come on. Are you kidding me, Joe?
Yeah.
Don't get me going. Don't get me going. A little Homer's ice cream? Oh, gotta love it. Okay, we got to come back to basketball, though. After a timeout is when coaches usually have their best set. So we're going to figure T.Y. Johnson's going to get a touch.
There he is.
Oh, it was
Inside,
high-low.
He turned it over again. Is that 3 turnovers now for Johnson? A couple of them might not have, one of them might not have been credited to Johnson, but either way, he's had a tough time getting the ball
all three
inside.
were fastballs. You know, we're getting into baseball spring training. Those were fastballs. He's a little frustrated.
I might want to run a set down the next trip, get T.Y. a good touch, a good look for him.
Madej with the pump fake. One dribble won't go.
That should have went one more to Geezer in the corner.
Here we go. Oh,
there's a
Johnson
layup. Jewett,
blew
pick
a
it
layup
up.
right there. Tried to go up for a dunk and didn't get it.
Make somebody better.
Hopkins gives it back to Jewett. Madej calling for the ball in the corner. Nobody saw it.
Look who Bryce has guarding him. Why doesn't Bryce just go down to the basket, get a touch?
there he is. Right there. Mismanaged handle ball.
You got shooters around Bryce, and Bryce stays inside. This team is hard to deal with.
Turnover right there. It's a 3-on-1. Lewis with an extra pass, and they took too long coming down the floor. Lewis should have gone up with that ball, and he passed it to the other block and had it stuffed away by Hopkins.
Saron Edwards getting a little chance to play right now. 4-year kid from Fenwick with the absence of Pugh and the absence of Reese.
Colin McHugh in the game as well.
DePaul is on a drought. They have been stuck on 10 for a while.
Since with 2 minutes left in the first quarter, I think they had 10 points. Working our way inside, 5 minutes here in the second. Looked like Johnson was fouled on that 3 ball, didn't get a call. Friars still with a 14-point lead. Crossover down the middle of the lane. Kick out to McHugh, couldn't handle it, and now it goes back up top to Madej. On the
You
low
can
block
see
is Hopkins, but they wave off the shot.
He draws a little attention in there.
Well, they're bringing a double team every time with Matthews on the backside for Bryce. And I don't know. That's just a tough. That's a tough matchup when you got a 10 kid guarding Bryce right now with obviously the help from Matthews.
Okay, Joe.
More food talk?
No, let's talk about the season. This 5-week sprint instead of a 4-month marathon, and the development of. Let's start with development of players. How do you think this season, this COVID season, is affecting the development of players? What do you see?
I think it's just stagnated. I don't think you see the natural progression of kids that, you would see a kid at Thanksgiving and you get a good feel in that first part of December, and then you get out and you see all the holiday tournaments. And then that second half of the season, in particular with juniors, you would see this big jump. Yeah, not in everyone, but much more than I've seen today. I also believe, that whole stretch from, I don't know, when we shut down in March up until we started playing again, what type of basketball was played? What type of basketball?
Individual skills.
Right,
kids were
but
out
not
doing
getting out
skills.
and playing and also raising your level in terms of, maximizing your abilities in some pressure situation or high-stakes situations. They didn't get that for almost a full year.
No games in the summer, no games in the
Right.
fall. You could go across the border and play, but it was different. And even coaching, you'd play 10, 11 guys early in the season. Guys would figure out, you know who's going to play, and then you kind of shorten your team. Probably by the end of the year, you get down to an 8-9 man rotation. Coaches have not had the luxury of doing that.
Little fadeaway right there from Bryce Hopkins.
Unstoppable.
Right out of the timeout. It's a 26-10 lead for Fenwick. 4.5 minutes to play till halftime.
That's bad defense.
Johnson going up and under, and that's a nice finish right there.
That's bad defense. So all of a sudden you get like a 16-point lead, and this has been their nature. They start playing a little bit passive defensively. They don't keep, and that's human nature too. Let's see if they can, 29-12, comfortable 17-point lead.
That was the 5th three-pointer of the game on that end of the floor for Gabe Madej. He has 15 points now. And Fenwick just lighting it up on the offensive side. Not exactly what we expect, not at all what we expected to see in the early going against DePaul.
He's got 15. What's he probably average, Rick?
Not 15. Not 15. But you got him and Geezer. Geezer's, there aren't many better shooters than Geezer in the state. And then you got Bryce, who's playing a little bit on the perimeter.
And he pulls up from three right there, off the back of the iron.
He can get all he can eat inside, surrounded by shooters.
Arnett with an easy finish. Nobody from Fenwick got back on defense. 3.5 minutes to play until halftime. Stevenson running a pick and pop, but takes it himself and gets a friendly bounce at the rim.
That was a good move. That was a big-time move by Stevenson. But he gets blown by then on defense. Make him shoot the three.
It's hard not to get beat with a first step like Bellows.
I agree, but you got to know he's got a good first step and play off him. How's he shoot the three? We want a close game anyway, so. Ooh. He could have caught that instead of smashing that.
Arnett hanging in the lane like a free safety.
He was
waiting to punch that ball away.
He was a swimmer early. Maybe that's a little bit like, by the way, talking about swimming at Fenwick, Fenwick has like the #1 water polo team in the state. Did you know that, Joe? Have you been scouting water polo lately?
I have not been a water polo fan, I'll admit. Although I do watch it in the Olympics.
Everything's good in the Olympics. We're just going 4 flat. And there goes zone as soon as they go 4 flat. Oh, wow. That whistle happened about 15 seconds ago.
I know. We were expecting that foul to come on the floor, but Hopkins goes all the way to the rim and gets an and one.
Right now, Coach Peck is thinking, okay, we got a 17-point lead. You know, can we play defense well enough to just kind of maintain this lead? I was not a guy that ever felt comfortable with early leads. I wish I was.
Hopkins can't convert the three-point play, and it's been tougher in the early going for free throw shooting for Fenwick, and that was one of the big problems they had against Notre Dame. Of course, that game being as close as it was, it didn't play it played a much bigger role than it seems to be playing now, as Geezer comes away with a rebound. Pushes it ahead. Jewett with a little Euro step and a finish with the right hand.
When's the last time you've seen DePaul give up this many easy baskets?
And now 19 here late in the second quarter. My goodness.
Down the middle of the lane now, the kick out to Lewis. Lewis stops the bleeding for the moment.
They needed that. They needed that.
A minute and a half to play. 35-19 Fenwick. Hopkins wants the ball up top. Now he gets it.
I love how Bello just guards. Just hounding Bryce. Bryce doesn't have a good matchup out there 40 feet from the basket, but he's got a great matchup 2 feet from the basket. Oh, one-handed,
away. Here comes
sloppy.
Johnson. Let's see what he can do. Throws it down. Does T.Y. Johnson.
Tommy wants to put some pressure now.
Well, minute 30 to go. Bryce doesn't have a good matchup out there 40 feet from the basket, but he's got a great matchup 2 feet from the basket. Oh, do we have, Tommy, were you showing a replay? Come on. Got to attack pressure. Offensive foul, maybe. No, I thought he pushed up with his opposite hand.
Were you hating on the instant replay?
I was looking at an instant replay. Tommy, can we show an instant replay on that now? He's shaking his head. He's hiding in the corner. Wow. Dot Productions, ladies and gentlemen. Bringing us all the action.
The players are getting better. Hopefully the broadcasters are getting better. And, of course, the production crew is making improvements midway through the season. That's what this is about.
Midway through. We're at the tail end.
We got 4 games next weekend.
we got the, you know, I mean, we've eaten the main course. Now we're going to get dessert.
And dessert is going to be a good one.
Now, do those shoes match?
They do.
They do? Okay. All right.
They're different on the inside than they are on the outside.
Inside on the outside.
I sure wouldn't mind seeing a close game.
Oh, I know, Joe.
Because I've had some bad luck.
We're going to get a close game.
You have had tough luck. The one time we didn't have you, actually.
I know.
And it was the last time we were here. We don't need to beat that one over the head anymore. But
that was
as good a game as you're going to see.
I missed it.
Where's Ronnie?
Where's Ronnie? He's still yelling 35. Louis, the legend Lesman, throwing one in from 3/4 court as I'm yelling double overtime. That was that Notre Dame Fenwick game here a couple weeks ago. Seems like it was longer than that. I mean, time is flying by.
I know.
I mean, when you walk outside, it's sunny and warm out now. It feels like you're heading to Peoria.
Yeah. And I still have not. I mean, I've come to grips with it, but
you have not come to grips with it,
well,
Joe.
just because 2 years in a row now.
You just haven't come to grips with it.
We're going to look.
You're still angry.
25 years from now and look back and say, wow, 2 years we didn't have any type of Illinois State champion.
Oh, but we got the Chipotle Classic. Clash of Champions.
We'll talk about that more at halftime. Right there, it's Sawyer going to the basket. 36-23.
Okay.
Fenwick lead 30 seconds till the break.
Yeah, but it was 17 points a second ago. Fenwick starts holding for one, and we got a chance. It's 13 now. DePaul turns them over, but this is a good matchup here for DePaul. They should give it. Jewett should have the ball in his hands, not Bryce. Jewett should run out. He's got the big guy on him. Bryce has the best defensive player in America on him.
Hopkins trying to work inside and draws a foul. That looked like it could have gone either way. That looked like maybe Hopkins gave him a forearm shiver.
You can make life a little easier. Jewett had Matthews on him. Jewett a point guard, Matthews a post guy. Let Jewett have it and then finish up with Bryce. Then get it to Bryce in a spot where he can score.
So that was the second foul on Bello and the 7th team foul of the half.
Hey, and
so
now
Hopkins will go to the line shooting a 1-and-1.
Fenwick should know they only have 2 team fouls right now with 8 seconds to go. There's no chance that DePaul should get a shot in these 8 seconds when you got 4 fouls you can waste. This is where you unload your bench, put some guys in that are good foulers. What do you think, Nick? Is this when they used to put you in the game at Bennett right now when they had fouls to waste? You'd go, hey, Greek, come on over here. Foul somebody.
They would have had to pull me out of the stand.
Okay. You got fouls to waste, guys.
7 seconds till the break.
You got fouls
now
to
5.
waste,
Johnson
guys.
with the ball going to the rim.
Oh, my. You don't want to foul a shooter. That was poorly executed. Am I critical? I don't want to be critical.
No, I mean, that's.
I want to be like AYSO soccer. Like everybody wins, everybody gets a trophy.
You don't show
I
a
want to
score
be
on
that
the
guy.
score.
I want to be that guy. Everything's a tie.
You don't show a score on the scoreboard that's more than a 10-point difference.
Okay, 2.5 seconds to go. You got Bryce. I'd put Bryce down about at the 3-point line, launch it to him. He's going to get it. And let him make a play. 2.5 seconds. You got at least 2 dribbles, maybe 3.
Or you just get someone to spot up from where Lesman
Yeah, okay, here.
let it fly.
1,000, 2.
No such luck for Hopkins, and that will do it for the first half of basketball here from Fenwick. 38-24.
That was one of the only 3-pointers Fenwick didn't make that happen.
Yes, it was. It was Midday leading the scoring for the Friars. 4 of 7, I think, from 3. He has, or 5 of 7. 15 points for Midday.
That was a good first half of basketball. Why don't we take a break, regroup, and let's come back at halftime and let's talk about the Chipotle Classic. Let's put Joe on the spot. How would he seed it right now? And we can also talk about the Central Suburban League.
All right, back with you in a few moments. You're listening to No Fans in the Stands TV. Second half coming your way in a moment from Fenwick. You're tuned in to No Fans in the Stands TV. Nick Magas here with Rick Malnati and Joe Henricksen. 2.5 minutes to play until we get going in the second half, and this one has really not gone at all the way we expected so far. It's a 14-point lead for Fenwick over the DePaul Rams. And before we get into recapping this one, let's talk a little bit about the Chipotle Clash of Champions coming up on March 12th and 13th. That's next weekend already. It's coming quick.
This one might change it a little bit as far as my mind in terms of where I see these teams seated. Because I'm a big DePaul fan, even though they had a little slight hiccup. I believe they're one of the top 4 or 5 teams in this tournament, and a loss here, particularly if it's a double-digit lopsided loss
to a team in
the tournament, it could slide them down a little bit.
Well, so let's talk about it. Let's talk about the 8 teams. So we got Simeon Whitney Young from the Public League. We got
and
DePaul.
Let's stop right there.
Okay.
I think they're 1 and 2. I mean, I don't know how the coaches will see these teams, but I think they are the 2 best teams I have seen, with the biggest upside as well in this short season, of all the teams in this 8-team field.
How many games does Simeon play?
They've only played 2 or 3. I think 3.
Whitney Young's got a bunch in.
Yeah, and, Simeon had a nice win over Kenwood. I believe they're the 2 top teams in that tournament.
Well, both undefeated.
Yep.
Okay, and then we go to these 2 teams right here from the Catholic League. Fenwick's got a couple losses. You know, the loss against Notre Dame when Lesman hit that 3/4 court shot, you can't, it's a loss in the loss column, but well-played game against a very good team. Mm-hmm. And then DePaul, a team that has 1 loss where, you can play Tommy Levatino. Anything can happen when you play Loyola the way they play. They play so hard, and it's hard to score.
Yeah, I think if this score holds up, it really kind of changes things in that tournament. Notre Dame lost to Mundelein without Anthony Sales. Mundelein has a loss without Scotty Abube playing. I think St. Pat's has kind of slid down the pack of the 8 teams. But I think it's going to be really jumbled in that 3 through 6, 7 range.
Well, Notre Dame started the season ranked number 1. Now, I know in the rankings, they probably weren't considering public league teams when those rankings came down. But right. I think you and Mike both said even if that happened, there was a good chance Notre Dame was going to be number 1.
Yeah, it was Notre Dame or Simeon, I think, that were going to be in Mike's, whether it be number 1 without the public league or with them, Notre Dame was in that mix.
Well, last week when I looked, the number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ranked teams in the state were 6 of the 8 teams. You're never going to get that downstate just because of how things work, 3A, 4A.
Geographically, yep.
Yeah, and they're going to knock each other off. And they went right inside right away.
That's Matthews getting a bucket to start the second half.
That's a nice possession for DePaul to start out this half. Trying to cut into that 14-point deficit, getting inside, get an easy bucket.
Question from Twitter during the break. What does DePaul need to do to come back in the second half?
Well, they got to guard better. They got to defend. They got to close out on the shooters. They shot it well, but they shot it with some open looks, Fenwick did.
That was Madej getting a big block right there, and he's a huge part of the reason Fenwick has the lead that they do. 5 threes in the first half.
Well, if you're Fenwick right now, junior. If you're Fenwick right now, you want to make a basket early. You don't want to let DePaul feel like they can jump back in the game.
But DePaul giving up 38 points, in a first half is rarely ever happens.
Yeah, on DePaul-like.
That was T.J. Stevenson getting a steal. Denham Jewett, the beneficiary. He has 10.
Yeah, big steal, big basket to start the second half. But then again, they just let them go right around them. And then after they get beat on the dribble, it doesn't seem like there's any help. Early in the game, we took a charge. Fenwick took a charge, but since then, you get by your initial defender and you get to the rim.
Well, it's a little bit to what you spoke about, Rick, in terms of just kind of that topsy-turvy up and down within a game even. They had, that charge you took. I mentioned when Bryce Hopkins with the help defense and created the poor pass and turnover from T.Y. Johnson, and now we can see some breakdowns on the defensive end.
DePaul's got too much pride.
And how about that? Hopkins drawing so much attention on the offensive side of the ball. And his teammate was wide open down low. That was Stevenson with a bucket.
Well, how do you let T.J. Johnson? It's like T.Y. just got to the rim with, didn't even look like anybody wanted to guard.
You see a little bit of part of his game, little pull up, little floater.
Offensive foul.
Looked like it. I guess they got Midday for a push off the ball. Well, it's an 11-point deficit still for DePaul. They have the basketball here with 6:17 to play in the third quarter.
Well, I guarantee DePaul makes a run. I guarantee it.
I would second that. They're too good, too well coached.
And too much pride.
To not make this, cut in the teeth of this deficit.
Bello lost
And
it.
if they
Johnson
shoot layups,
got it and gets a layup.
They've shot 3 or 4 layups so far this half. I mean, they started the game shooting some threes. This is what they take it to the rim like this. Fenwick's defense is going to have to improve.
12-point total for T.Y. Johnson. That most recent basket cut the deficit to single digits. Midday, after a big first half, comes up very empty right there.
Now all of a sudden you look at the scoreboard, it's 9 points, and the team that had the lead starts getting a little tight. Because you look at it, like you still got a 9-point lead in the third quarter, but you're thinking, oh, we used to be up 17. It's a hard position to be in. It's hard to blow out a great team. Fenwick needs a great defensive possession here. Bryce
Had a
did
block,
it.
did Brian Matthews. Dylan Arnett still on the bench with that bum ankle.
Good hustle.
Day
by
with the
Midday.
follow off the miss from Jewett.
Tom Kleinschmidt's got to be irate over just that easy follow up there.
But what is Jewett doing trying to steal the ball from T.Y.? Just stay in front of him. You're guarding a high Division I player. Just stay in front of him. Make him earn his baskets. Great pass and
Pass
one.
from Hopkins. Didn't get the foul, didn't get the bucket either. T.J. Stevenson. And here comes Johnson. DePaul could use a basket right here. It was 13 at the half. Now the deficit is 9. A step back 3 from Johnson off the front of the rim.
No box out.
Bello comes up with the ball. Now Johnson will spin through the middle of the lane and miss the shot, but go to the line.
Okay, don't look now, but it's going to be a 7-point game in a second. And momentum has completely slid over to the DePaul side.
Yeah, you continue to trim at this lead.
Well, you got to make it harder for DePaul to score. Every single shot they've shot so far in the third quarter has been 1 foot from the basket. And there hasn't been a lot of resistance. And this is the Achilles heel of Fenwick. They get leads and they just relax. You're not going to be shooting 80%, 70%, 60% from 3 the whole game. But
Well,
you can give a great defensive effort.
Especially when you're, well, that's what I was just going to say. And especially when you're inconsistent defensively. You're going to have those breakdowns and these runs. And like you said, you can't just sit here and depend on the hot shooting that they had that entire first half.
No doubt. And are you more worried about, as a coach, are you more worried about a team relaxing with the 17-point lead or a team getting too tight with a lead like that?
I don't think they're going to get tight. I think when the lead starts dwindling, all of a sudden momentum shifts, and you do start looking up at the clock a little bit more and like, holy cow, we're only up 5, we're only up 7, we're only up 9, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
But this is what happens when you got a young team. You got Bryce Hopkins, who's been through the war, a 4-year player, going to Kentucky, and then he's surrounded by 4 juniors. These juniors, there's a lot of teams right now. You talk about Glenbard West, young. You talk about St. Ignatius, young. But Fenwick's right there. Losing Bryce is going to be a big loss, but you got 6 of the top 7 kids are juniors on this team.
Solid junior class for them, and obviously the departure last year of Pettigrew, their standout guard, who
might be coming back, Joe.
17, 18-point scorer.
You could break that. He might be coming back.
So Johnson at the free throw line out of the break. That's point number 15 for him.
You know, he just picked it up. Sorry, they just picked it up recently. He was stuck on 5 points, and you look up at the scoreboard, and TY's already just jumped up to 15 points.
DePaul never is in the lane on free throws. They're going to press right here. Nope, I'm wrong. Again.
That's
wrong
rare.
Again.
It's a rare miss from Coach Malnati. That's Geezer dialing it up from deep. Comes up just a bit short. And Geezer really yet to get it going, but we saw him come on late in the Notre Dame game.
If Fenwick keeps playing for steals on every single dribble. Here's a dunk here.
Oh, you got to give that up.
He didn't give it up.
You got your All-American coming down in transition.
Kind of a trailer there, and it was a perfect situation for a lob. And
fill in the lane, and you got to give that one up.
Yeah, just didn't look up. So Jewett not only didn't get the basket, but got called for an offensive foul.
This is why I like standing here instead of the sidelines, Joe. It's a lot easier to stand here. I hate having big early leads against great teams, because this is what happens.
Johnson threw it out of bounds, but had it poked away by Stevenson.
What do you think the halftime was like at the DePaul locker room? Think Tommy had a couple choice things to say? We're getting an update from the CSL. You know, we're looking at the Central Suburban League because the winner of that comes into the Chipotle Classic in New Trier right now, 30-22 at home against Evanston. Evanston without any size. They had some size.
A couple of eligibility issues with a couple of their big guys, and Evanston is in trouble.
Evanston always seems to find ways to win.
That is a lightning quick crossover right there from Johnson, who once again gets to the rim. Didn't get the shot, but will go to the free throw line.
Yeah, TY is not getting things to fall right now, but it's a bad sign that he's getting whatever he wants.
Well, and look at the scoreboard. Fenwick has 5 team fouls. DePaul has none. So a couple things right now. You look at, am I guarding Cam Lewis from the perimeter? I know he's hit a 3. I'm not guarding him. Am I guarding Jabari Sawyer from the perimeter? I'm not guarding him. Am I guarding Rasheed Bello from the perimeter? I'm not guarding him. I am making sure they don't dribble penetrate and they earn their baskets. Every single shot they've taken so far in the third quarter has been from right around layups. Now, Fenwick's got to go inside. They got to take advantage. They've had Bryce handling the ball. Bryce has to be inside.
And just like that, Stevenson loses it out of bounds. And another turnover for Fenwick.
Yeah.
So DePaul down 5, and Coach Peck calls timeout.
You know, as fluid and as loose as I was talking about Fenwick playing in the first half, you can see a complete 180 and a completely different team as far as the feel of this game.
Body language changed. Okay. It's a 5-point game. You know what, though? Every single one of Fenwick's games has been an overtime game. So we just expect overtime. We just brace for overtime. We got a trivia question? No, we don't have a trivia question. What do we got here? Chicago Video Production Company. Dot Productions. You know what? If you got a wedding coming up, you got a Sweet 16 birthday party coming up, you got bar mitzvahs, bat mitzvahs, whatever you got going.
Our first telecast, or you were talking about funerals.
Well, nobody knows if. Hopefully, nobody knows if they got a funeral coming up.
No. I
was
just
got a
saying,
funeral coming up.
All I was saying on that, without being gruesome, is like, I like when somebody dies, you can't go to a funeral right now, right? I mean, you just can't go because of COVID. So live stream it. Okay, you guys making fun of me. I thought it was a great idea. I thought it was a market for the
live stream your funeral with a Malnati's pizza.
Yeah, go to Malnati's afterwards for lunch.
Oh my God.
Oh, they switched to 1-3-1. At least they give them a different look. 1-3-1 does stop penetrating guards if it's played well, and that's a double team, and that's that way. Timeout.
That ball was loose, I think.
Oh my!
I do like the switch though. I mean, I like kind of mixing it up, change up the look. They come out, weren't ready for it, prepared for it. Slow this little penetration that they've been getting at will over the last 3-4 minutes of this quarter.
And 1-3-1 is a great weapon. You got that, and I'll tell you what, it's been very effective against DePaul in the past.
Well, we've talked about it in our past broadcasts of just presenting different looks, different types of a zone, different traps, half-court trap, the 1-3-1, switching back to man.
How about this year when you don't have a lot of time to prepare? I mean, a lot of these guys are playing NBA schedules.
Right.
DePaul was on COVID short for 10 days. They got to make up all those games. He's got no time to – I think he's got games Friday, Saturday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or something ridiculous. So how do you prepare against a team that, throws different things at you? Maybe you put a box and one on TY. What do you think, Joe? You don't like my funeral idea. How do you like my box and one idea? Is that a better one?
Let's see how this 1-3-1, a couple trips, pans out for the Friars.
Yeah, and Kleinschmidt smart putting TY in the middle trying to get him the ball.
TY gets it on the wing, but
they should not be able
to
go
inside.
They're going to have to make perimeter shots. And they got that one thing you give up when you play zone is rebounding. Fenwick's got to do a better job rebounding. And again, they play for steals.
How about that spin move right there from T.Y. Johnson? And that's something you can talk to about Porter Moser.
You're right. They gambled again on a steal, on the pass, and T.Y. made him pay for it.
It's a 3-point game.
Kleinschmidt yelling, why is Bryce Hopkins at the rim?
I stopped talking there. I was hoping our listeners could pick up what he was saying from down there on the floor. And, yep, Hopkins went all the way to the basket, ran over his defender, and gets to the free throw line.
Well, Bryce is just such a mismatched nightmare for a high school basketball coach and team because of his versatility, the size, his shoulders, his hands. You can put him on the post and the block. He can handle and create for you.
Well, that's why he's going to Kentucky. I just think he's got a better matchup. When they're guarding him with Bello on the perimeter, his best matchup is inside. Why fight
That's
it?
True. And with Arnett on the bench, too, for DePaul, that would be his probably the only guy on this DePaul team that could really give him a tough time inside.
Fenwick can't get extended. How many three-point shots has DePaul made so far today? Where's our stat guy? Don't play for steals. I like charge takers, not guys that steal the ball. I like guys that take charges.
Your stat guy's telling you 2 threes from DePaul.
2 threes for DePaul.
I think Johnson hit one, and I know Trayvon Thomas hit one.
Hey, and all of a sudden, that possession, Fenwick played some defense, even though they did go for a couple steals. If you go for a steal, you better get it, because if you don't get it, you put your teammates in a tough situation. They play 5-on-4, 4-on-3, 3-on-2.
Minute 30 seconds till the end of the third. Geezer going baseline. Little floater with the right hand is good. Extends the lead back to 7.
Let's see if Fenwick can play good defense for another possession.
You feel like Fenwick's kind of caught their breath. They take a little deep breath, and now they've relaxed a little bit, settled back in after DePaul made that run.
Sir got rid of it. Johnson attacks, pulls up, shot won't go.
Fenwick's got a box out.
Yes, they do. Another offensive rebound for DePaul, and they'll get a chance to reset as we work our way inside. A minute to play in the third. Bello with a quick first step. Got it inside to Matthews, who finishes with the left.
Great catch. Great catch in that pass. Show his hands. Finish with the left.
You got that right. It's been fastballs all day from those DePaul guards, and that was really the first time that one of the guys down low was able to handle the pass. Half a minute to go.
We got zone here. Geezer's got to find an open spot. Jewett's got to create something. Jewett's got to be an assist guy and a defensive starter for Fenwick.
Denham Jewett, the 6'3" junior. Working the clock down. Now gives it up for Hopkins. Hopkins going to the basket, has an open man in the corner,
Wow.
but takes it himself and
Wow.
gets it to go. So with 1 second remaining, the toss from Johnson is no good, and Fenwick will head into the fourth quarter with a 7-point lead.
That was a tough shot. That was a big shot. That's the way you're supposed to finish quarters right there. 7-point lead. What was it going into the third quarter?
13.
Okay, we got a trivia question right now. Name the Catholic League champion teammates, so somebody that won the Catholic League championship, that have also won a Big Ten championship in the past 2 years. Okay.
To clarify, the teammates in the Big Ten won it with 2 different teams.
Well, they could have won it on the same team. You got to know who won the Big Ten. I mean, I'm not giving answers away here. It's worth money at Malnati's, $25 gift card. How are we getting them the gift card, Tommy? We're going to email. So how do they answer the question? They tweet it?
Tweet it at No Fans TV. We'll see
See
the first one to come in.
Let's see who can answer that. Joe, do you know you can't say the answer, obviously, Joe.
You showed me the
I showed you the answer. Did you know it?
No,
Did you know
I would not have guessed it.
Okay. You wouldn't have guessed
I got 1 or 2.
Well, let's hope nobody gets it, because I don't want to give away $25 of Malnati's pizza.
I got 1 of 2. And then you showed me, and I was mad you showed me because I wanted to guess.
I haven't done anything right according to you. The funeral thing, the zone thing,
but after shot clock thing.
The shot clock. I listen.
Are you just warm up to it?
I'm all about if we do the shot clock and the Chipotle thing. We just got to find some shot clocks. Who's got shot clocks? We need shot clocks, Joe. Okay, this is going to be a 3-point shot for Madej. Madej. Okay,
Madej pulled up from the baseline, got his own rebound. One more chance for him, and he lost it out of bounds, but it'll stay with the Friars.
Good effort there. What do we got? We got an answer coming in? Nico Hobbs and Mike Smith is not the right answer. Nico Hobbs is at Iowa.
We got one that is right, though.
We got one that's right?
We did.
Who answered it?
Geezer got
fouled. No, we're not giving that. We're not giving that. That's not because he should know. He was a coach at Fenwick. He's not getting the answer. Can they see that on? Can you see that? Can people see that?
We didn't think this far ahead.
Oh no, we're not giving Walt. No way, Pat Walsh getting anything. No way. But the answer was.
Wait.
Well, he got it.
Okay.
It's public knowledge now. It's on the.
All right.
On it. You know, he could have held back. He knew the answer. Mike Smith last night. Joe, Mike Smith. Where did you have him rated when he was a senior here?
Probably not high enough.
Probably not high enough. Why? Tell me why. What did you not like? Did you not like he averaged about 25 points a game? Did you not like that he could break down anybody off the dribble? Did you not like he could guard? Did you not like what did you not like?
You know what everybody didn't like.
Oh, his size.
And
I hate that.
Yep.
I hate this. I hate the size thing.
No, I mean, it's not like I didn't like him.
Well,
I love Mike Smith.
You didn't like him as much as I liked him.
And I thought, you know, as a lot of people do with high major guards, they get hung up on certain things, man. And that was a hang up with Mike Smith. What a career, though. He's finishing it off. What a way to finish off your career.
Hey,
with a year at Michigan, what they're having, what they're doing, the impact he's having on that team.
Okay, and then listen to this, Joe. Senior night last year at Columbia, I'm sitting with them. You got to be kidding me. Can they get a rebound? Anyway, I'm sitting with him after senior night out in New York. I said, Mike, where do you want to play next year? He says, Michigan State. Call Michigan State. Say, hey, this kid, they know all about him. They know all about Mike Smith. We're good at the point guard position, okay? Michigan State, now look at them this year. How good are they at the point guard? If Michigan State would have taken Mike Smith, it'd be vice versa. Michigan State would be where Michigan is. Smith.
That is some big Mike Smith love.
Well, I'll tell you what, at least then Michigan State would have a point guard and Michigan wouldn't.
To be fair, they had Cassius Winston up until last season.
Well, yeah, but I'm talking about this season. Don't throw it back court.
They give it up for Hopkins off
Great
the steal.
pass.
Jewett
Great
gets
pass.
a bucket. And it's
Bryce
once
Hopkins.
again a 10-point lead for Fenwick.
Bryce Hopkins doing the things that he's got to do to make other people better.
Tom Kleinschmidt's asking, can they throw the ball into the hallway?
Well,
He wants a little delay of game.
I like slowing up a guy's. Like Kleinschmidt wouldn't have done that when he played. Kleinschmidt would rip your heart out. Look at this.
Bello missed it, but another offensive rebound for DePaul, and Johnson will reset.
Perimeter shot.
Sawyer from the corner, that's in and out.
Make a perimeter shot.
Fenwick holding strong here with 6 minutes to play in the ballgame. Jewett lost it out of bounds, and it will go the direction of DePaul.
Big possession. Even though there's 6 minutes to go in the game right here, this is a big possession. Fenwick needs a stop. Even though they're up 10, they need a stop. DePaul needs a basket.
Who needs it more? DePaul needs a basket or Fenwick needs a stop?
That depends if you're a DePaul fan or a Fenwick fan.
Good answer.
Okay.
I'm going to go they need a bucket, all right?
I think you're right.
Because you want a close game, Joe.
I need a barn burner.
Step back from Johnson.
Fenwick needs a rebound, a clean rebound.
Yes, they do. That one went out of bounds, and it will stay with DePaul. So,
you know, T.Y. Johnson has gotten his going to the rim, getting to the bucket, and I'll give Fenwick some credit defensively. They've made it difficult. They've closed out on him as a shooter. They have not given him very many good looks. And T.Y. has struggled a little bit shooting from the perimeter tonight.
True, the one good look Johnson had was from 27 feet.
Another offensive rebound.
Bello came down with it, missed the putback.
Oh, my.
And once again it stays with the Rams.
My. Tommy, do we got a replay on that one? Wow. No replay. They've had 4 chances to get a stop.
Oh, that's a travel, huh? No?
No, they called
And
a
they
foul
call
on
the
the
bucket.
bucket.
Okay.
Oh, my.
We had a travel. What?
We had a travel or a foul
first of all,
on the
it was Fenwick's
floor.
ball. Yeah,
And Coach Peck's yelling 3 in a row, and he's right.
I'll tell you what, that's a
That was-
trifecta. You know what? That's a trifecta. Make 3 calls in a row, it's a trifecta.
That's a bad little stretch for Fenwick.
Well, you said they needed a hoop. You didn't say they needed a hoop, a foul, 4 offensive rebounds. Now Fenwick needs a hoop. Although, we're going to get an overtime game, Joe. We're going to get an overtime game just for you.
I've had 2 back-to-back blowouts. I've missed the Notre Dame Fenwick game. I need one down the wire.
That was the best game of the year. He's on a 5 count.
Stanton Peck calls a timeout, so it's a 7-point lead for Fenwick heading into the break. 5 minutes to play in the 4th quarter.
Okay.
I mean, T.Y. Johnson's got 23 right now.
23.
And I think he had 5
Everyone's
at halftime.
But everyone has been at the rim. Has he made a perimeter shot?
Hit 1 3.
He did hit a 3. Okay. Again, my mistake.
But, you know, he's getting to the rim, he's getting to the line. And, you know, a great scorer, Rick, finds different ways to put the ball in the hole. And that's why I really like him as a player. You know, he's not a pure shooter. He's going to have to tweak it a little bit, coming off his hand, a little bit of a spin off there. But I'm telling you, mid-range, pull up, get into the rim with his athleticism and speed.
Is he strong enough to play in the Missouri Valley next year?
Yeah, he's strong. I mean, he's starting to mature physically already, and, you know, he's grown a little bit. You know, the impact he'll have will be significant as a freshman. I really believe that.
Okay.
Because of his scoring ability.
You got to get Bryce Hopkins a touch on the block.
That's a charge.
Oh no.
Called it a block, but they needed to give one back to Fenwick. That's fair.
it.
That's only fair.
That's it. Can't complain if you're Tommy Kleinschmidt. You got 3 on the other end.
So that's TJ Stevenson going to the free throw line. Only 1 point for Stevenson so far tonight. He has 4 points for Stevenson. And he misses the first end of the 2 free throws.
You got to rebound, you got to make free throws, and you got to play defense, and then you got a great team if you're Fenwick. Okay, they need to stop again. A stop and a hoop again, Joe. Same thing. 8-point game. T.Y. Johnson gonna get it. And again, an offensive rebound.
They missed them both. And that's a killer right there. Fenwick with a 3-on-2 and had it poked away from Bryce, but Madej gets it back. Bello with active hands on the defensive side once again.
You don't want to dribble against Bello.
Bello can just defend. Get after you, get in the passing lanes, be disruptive on the ball.
He plays with effort for all 32 minutes on defense.
4:20 to go. Hopkins with the basketball, working on Cam Lewis. One-handed pass to the corner for Geezer, and he hasn't quite found it yet. Bello coming the other way, running down the floor, misses with the left. Matthews tied up beneath the basket, and they're going to call a jump ball.
DePaul has left a lot of points and a lot of opportunities right there at the rim.
How many offensive rebounds do you think DePaul has? Where's our statistician, Tommy?
I'm guessing 10 offensive rebounds, but they haven't really converted that many of them into points.
Okay, we got a second. Oh, we're going to go to a commercial? One 1-800-LUTA-GO. Ship that stuff all over the country. All right. Let's talk about the Central Suburban League for a second. Do we got an update on the?
Yeah, we need an update because
32-30?
32-30, New Trier leads.
You know, they made news with their opportunity to give the league champ a bid into the tournament.
So Evanston got the invite, and they said, "Listen, if we don't win the conference, we don't want to go." Very classy. But now they have.
Well, it's going to come back to bite him.
It is, but I mean, it's a good story.
It's a great story, and it's going to play into next week.
It could play to Monday night if New Trier were to beat Evanston twice this weekend.
Then
New Trier would be playing Glenbrook South Monday night.
And New Trier would be in the driver's seat. I mean, they'd have one loss.
The winner goes.
GBS
Glenbrook
would
South,
have one
New
loss.
Trier.
If Evanston beats New Trier, splits with New Trier, then Evanston has one loss, New Trier has 2 losses, and GBS has 1 loss, right?
If Evanston splits with New Trier, both New Trier and Evanston both have 2 losses. Because Evanston lost to
So
Glenbrook
GBS
South.
then, GBS would only have 1 loss. So then the game, and then Evanston would win ties, and that's a bad pass.
Yeah, Jewett tried the lob for Hopkins.
And then Evanston
looks like Trapinski going over the middle, throwing it a little bit too large.
Rick?
Yes.
Would it be the first time in history Monday night where Evanston would be cheering for New Trier?
Wow. I don't know.
That's an interesting
Are you sure
dynamic.
that game's scheduled Monday?
No.
Okay. I like that you were honest about it.
No, I'm 90% sure it's Monday. Pretty sure.
Johnson with the step back from the baseline.
Fenwick almost got a rebound. They almost got a rebound.
And for as good as T.Y. Johnson has been going to the basket, it has been fruitless from anywhere outside of 5 feet.
But why? Bryce just saying, get that out of my house.
That's a big time presence in the middle right there. Bryce Hopkins.
He's got about 5-6 blocks tonight.
Hey, it just seems like they can't crack. They're double teaming. He traveled.
Yes.
Well, as much as DePaul has gotten to the rim, the basket in this second half, and yes, they've converted, they've scored, they've cut into this lead, but they've just left a lot of points right there, not finishing.
Well, and Fenwick looks like a team that's just having trouble finishing the game. Oh, you got to go to the corner on that. You got Bryce with a catch in the post.
And you've got Madej, who hit 5 threes in the first half and hasn't attempted one in the second.
Oh, he's attempted one.
He attempted one early, that's right. And missed the shot right there. He'll go to the line. 3 minutes to play in the fourth quarter. Still an 8-point lead for Fenwick and a chance to extend it here.
When you need money, you go to your banker. Did we ever teach you that over there at Bennett High School, Nick? When you need money, you go to your banker. Who's the banker on Fenwick? Bryce Hopkins.
You know it.
You got to get Bryce Hopkins the ball on the post. You got to get them the ball on the post. Life would be easy for Fenwick.
And you were saying that the last time we were here, and that's exactly what they did in the fourth quarter, and that's how they were able to come back against Notre Dame.
3 minutes to go. Could be a 10-point game with a made free throw here, and it's still not for sure a Fenwick victory here.
No, it is not.
Fenwick needs to play defense. DePaul's had no issue breaking them down and getting to the rim.
Can't eat up too much time here either.
Matthews trying to post up inside.
Like T.Y.'s the only guy that looks offensively motivated here.
That's Bello from 3 off the back of the rim. Fight for the rebound and a foul called.
Who's the foul on?
I think they're pointing it at Matthews.
This ref is a little indecisive here. 21 on a hold.
Should they get Geezer?
I think I'm coming back tonight if I'm Fenwick and doing some box out drills. We're going to do a little boxing out.
They do give the foul to Geezer, so that's the 7th team
team
foul of the half.
1-1
for Fenwick. Yep, 1-1 coming up here for Matthews.
Got a box out on free throws too.
His front court counterpart Arnett still not in the ball game, and he missed the free throw. So
now,
with a 10-point lead.
2:38. Time is just as important as baskets here.
Well, without my shot clock, Rick,
yeah,
you can rattle off about a minute here and end this game.
Well, they got one guy being guarded by a big guy that should be breaking pressure, and that's him.
They got Midday for a travel on the shot fake.
Midday could be breaking pressure all day against Matthews. You get Matthews out on the floor extended.
This is my situation, though, not to harp on the shot clock, Rick.
Let me hear it. Let me hear it.
But that was a situation where 10-point game, 2.5, 3 minutes left, where you can just end the game.
Johnson for 3. That won't go. Rebound by Matthews, and he bounces it outside.
How many offensive rebounds does DePaul have?
We need a stats guy. Bello going inside. Misses the shot, but draws a foul.
I don't want to harp on stuff either, but has Bello made a 3? Early made a 3. Right?
Not, Bello does a lot of things well.
That's not his strong suit.
He is not a bona fide perimeter shooter, although I think that last game we did do, he hit a 3 or 2.
Yeah. So, but all I'm saying is when you're guarding him, he's left-handed and he's not a great shooter, but yet he's shot fakes.
Getting to the rim.
He's getting a first step on everybody.
And this is what I'm saying. This is where you don't have enough time to prepare. Like, guys are playing games every single day. You got to prepare. You got to pass the ball, son.
Jewett gave it up. Johnson can't finish, but another foul called on Fenwick and 2 more free throws coming for DePaul.
This is Fenwick's life. Nothing's easy. Nothing's easy. Everything's a struggle. They're up 10 with 2 minutes to go. Get a rebound, got the ball. They're in the bonus. But for us, we want a close game anyway.
Joe,
yeah,
if we
I don't know if
I called overtime. I guess I'm gonna got a chance to be wrong for the first time today.
Well, they're gonna get into some pressure on this made free throw, and that's where you're gonna have to turn them over.
Well, and they took out the big guy, so now you can't break pressure. Nobody's got an easy job breaking pressure. He's got 5 guards in. Oh, a soft
dangerous pass right there. Fenwick able to break. So inside 2 minutes now. Pass inside to Midday. Put it on the floor. Passed it up for Hopkins. Hopkins gets it back.
How about those hands? That pass was at his toes, and he comes up with that. Now you got to make him burn some clock. Can't let him get a quick shot off.
Lewis from the same spot. He's been camping all night, but he's yet to get one.
Jump ball.
Basket and what?
Jump ball. Possession arrow goes to DePaul.
If he didn't see it, he didn't even ask for. I mean,
yeah,
you got to ask for some help.
Okay.
So Bello to inbound. Johnson in the corner. Dribbling toward the rim. Lost the ball, and there's another foul called, and that one looked clean to me.
I thought that was good D. You think the refs watch this game afterwards? Because they're not going to like me.
They'll like you better than they did the Notre Dame St. Pat's refs.
Well, took it easy after the first 4
The
calls.
first 4 minutes of a broadcast of no fans in the stands TV was dedicated to
a little harsh.
The officials.
A little harsh. Fenwick has got to learn how to win these games up 10, minute 28 to go.
They're winning this, game. Rick. Come on.
But wait, we had 1,500 viewers for that St. Pat's Notre Dame game, and it's gone down since then. So is that the formula?
You think the deal is that?
Do we need to bring the official criticism back?
Yeah,
I'm in the gym. This game isn't going down to the wire. Trust me.
You think it's going to just be easy? I think there's.
They got within 4, right? That was the closest, I think.
The one thing.
3 and within 3.
The one thing is, Fenwick's got a couple timeouts. Good. But their next 3 fouls are all 1-and-1s. So Fenwick's going to have to step to the line, and they're going to have to make some pressure free throws down the stretch. And if they do that, they win. All they got to do is handle the ball and make their free throws.
Yeah, I mean, you got to come out aggressive, knowing the foul situation, and you can be ultra aggressive, knowing you've got that foul situation where you do send them into the line for the bonus instead of 2 shots.
And then who do you foul? Who do you foul? Jewett hasn't look that great at the free throw line. Madej, Geezer, Hopkins, all good free throw shooters. TJ Stevenson made his last. So I think I'm not following Bryce. That's for sure. And you know Bryce is going to be able to get open here just with his height. He's just going to be able to post up to get a catch. So if they press, you got to, if you get a layup, you shoot a layup. Otherwise, you just get to the free throw line and make your free throws. They got to get the ball in. He can move. Big advantage when you can move. Bounce pass is not a great pass to make.
Oh.
They gave it away, but they gave it right back, and here comes Jewett with the chance to put it away. And he does. So an 11-point lead now with just over a minute in the ballgame.
Go for a steal there.
Bello with the Euro step. Bello, the left-handed guard.
Bryce,
kisses
don't
it off the
stand
glass.
underneath the basket when you take it out. That eliminates the option of throwing a deep pass. This is kind of, it just.
You got to extend the game. You're going to just keep extending the game as much as you can in this final minute. And just can't waste too many seconds.
When you're coaching and you got the lead, these seconds seem like they take eternity.
It was Madej that got off to a hot start for Fenwick. 15 points in the first half. He'll finish with somewhere around 19. That's where he's sitting right now. Hopkins with 16 for Fenwick. Those are the 2 leaders. On the other side, it's T.Y. Johnson with 26 and Rasheed Bello with 11.
For Jewett, these are big free throws just for his soul. Now you got to play solid defense. Don't go for steals. Make them spend some time. Just don't let them get to the rim. Stand in and take a charge. That's it.
And they call yet another foul.
You got to put 2 guys on
Stevenson.
TY right now. You just can't let them penetrate.
Make them give the ball up. No one has proven they can score and shoot right now. And you put a double on him, force the ball out of his hands instead of sending him to the line.
Yeah, make him make a perimeter shot, then get a rebound. Got to rebound the ball.
What? That was Geezer crashing the boards.
Oh, it was a double bonus, so it was a 2-shot.
I mean, you look at.
That was the 10th foul, yep.
You look at Fenwick with 62 points. You would have told me at the beginning of the night Fenwick's going to score 60 plus, and Bryce Hopkins was going to have 16. Tom Kleinsmith would have taken it.
Strong with the ball, Bryce. You got 4 guys on you. Oh, my.
That was off his teammate Madej.
Nothing, it comes easy for Fenwick. Every game goes down to the wire. I'll tell you what, when they get to the Chipotle championships, they're going to be ready for close games. They're going to be in this situation. They're going to make a 3 here. You know it. You just know it.
Oh, yeah.
Lewis
and then Fenwick cannot get a rebound.
And a rebound stays with the Rams.
Oh, my God. Am I happy I'm up here? I am so happy I'm up here.
Johnson from the corner. That won't go. Geezer with the rebound, and finally someone from Fenwick comes down with the board, and with 46 seconds to play, Geezer with a chance to put in the final nail.
It's not like DePaul hasn't had chances.
No, I from the some of the missed opportunities at the rim to the possessions here in this final minute,
and
they've had their opportunities to cut this thing into, get it within a couple possessions.
And Fenwick with a chance again with the one-on-one. Got to knock down their free throws, and the game's over.
So DePaul came into this game ranked 5th in the state. Fenwick came in ranked 16th. Those were the rankings as of last Sunday. And it was pretty clear that DePaul was the favorite. But after seeing what we've seen here tonight, which team do you like better of these two to make a run deep into the Chipotle tournament?
Well, this game, I'm not going to lie, has completely surprised me. This has been a game that I thought DePaul would win.
It was Bello making a triple.
But what we saw out of DePaul in the first half in particular was not a typical DePaul game in terms of their defensive play. They've struggled shooting it from the perimeter.
Yeah, they haven't made – that three was the first three I think they made this quarter.
Maybe this half.
It could have been. And they're a better shooting team than this.
Well, T.Y. is an offensive juggernaut,
Yeah.
but he has not shot the ball real well from the perimeter.
Yeah, he's got 26 points.
Mm-hmm.
But part of that is because he has been guarded well on the perimeter. Most of those looks he's had have not been open shots. He's had more open shots from 5 feet than he has from 18 feet.
And like I said before, if you hold Bryce Hopkins to 16 points and you're still giving up 64, there's something wrong defensively with what, your defensive night. Because you have held Bryce Hopkins in check, yet are, giving up way more points than you're accustomed to allowing.
Okay, from Winnetka, Joe, Evanston up 6 with 4:45 to go from Winnetka.
Wow, that game turned around.
That game's on our
really
sister station. That's you can see TV. Strong with the ball. TJ's got to shoot him in.
That game was tied at 45 a minute ago. So Evanston going on a little run here to go up 6.
That's what Evanston does. Evanston scores in spurts. It's a 4-point game now.
Is that game at Evanston or Notre tonight?
At Notre tonight, at Evanston tomorrow during the day. They got that, what do you call it, network at Evanston where you got to pay. That's streaming. TJ's got to make
We don't need to say the name out loud.
This game's not over. 8 points.
30 seconds. Bello going to the rack. Bello lost it out of bounds, but the Rams will hang on. So an 8-point ball game with half a minute to play.
You know they're going to go for a 3 here. No.
They don't. Johnson lost it on the way up, tries to get it back, and that one's going to go
Another
with
block
Fenwick.
by Bryce Hopkins. Stuffing the stat sheet. Get the ball back, Bryce. Throw it in and get it back. Get it back.
DePaul gets in a quick foul before he can. That one's on Jabari Sawyer. It'll be Denham Jewett going to the free throw line. 25 seconds to play and a chance for Jewett to extend the lead to 10.
This last minute's lasted an hour.
Well, you look at those seeds. I mean, I think you want to. Simeon and Young are probably going to be 1 and 2.
So you want to stay away from 7 and 8.
You want
to stay away from 7 and 8.
Right. So, and I think Fenwick was playing with that 7-ish seed going into tonight, and I think maybe they moved themselves up.
You know what's going to be fun, Joe? In the old days when you had seating meetings, you were all together. You got in a room. You got 5 minutes to talk about your team. Everybody had a vote in front of each other. Well, now you can hide behind the computer, punch that stuff in, send it in. There's no dialogue. We're doing it live Sunday night, 7 o'clock. We should live stream that. If we can live stream funerals, we can live stream a Zoom. Come on, Dot Productions.
A seating meeting.
So what are we going to do when we get those? Are you gonna be the one to break the seed, Joe? You got to be on the call.
Oh, I'm going to be on it for some popcorn, I'll get myself a Coke and just sit back and entertain.
How about a pizza? Or a Chipotle? How about a bowl?
Let's be clear, though. The seeding is also not the only thing that determines the first-round matchups because we don't want the Chicago, the public league teams.
There could be some tweaking, but
playing the public league teams and the Catholic
East Suburban can't play each other. Catholic League, suburban teams can't play each other.
We're doing this as much for our own ratings as we are for anything else.
The Notre game is down to a 1-point game.
Can we do like an NCAA where they flash to the other?
This one is over. Take the L out of Lover. Take the L. That's a big win for Fenwick.
That is a
big win for Fenwick.
Well, that's their biggest win of the year.
Well, and by the most points.
They tried to make it close. They really did, and they couldn't manage to do it. They kept it at a comfortable length for most of the second half after going on a tear to start the ball game. And like we've talked about all night, this has been a showing from Fenwick that we didn't expect and we hadn't really seen at any other point in this season. But it makes, just one more team. It's a new next weekend.
Well, if Coach Peck gets these guys to play with consistent effort, I mean, they are explosive. They got guys that can shoot it in from the perimeter. They got Bryce Hopkins, who could the best player in the tournament potentially.
Yeah, I mean he's the most dynamic figure, and he has the potential.
Player of the year candidate. Are we doing Player of the Year?
Yeah, sometimes they'll be doing their annual Player of the Year. I just think he's the one player in that tournament who can carry a team, put his team on his back, and just in multiple ways.
And this is a big team, a big win for the soul of Fenwick. They beat a top-ranked team, a well-coached team, and I think Coach Peck's got to be happy. Now, there's going to be things he's going to be unhappy with. He's going to look and say, hey, if we could defensive rebound, if we could, get Bryce some better opportunities inside. But you got to like the emergence of Madej, like just tearing it up, get him an early lead.
Well, I mean, they're the ones that started. I mean, that's what started this whole game, I mean, they came out loose and gained a lot of confidence and a comfort level with that three-point shooting, set the tone, and never relinquished it. Yeah, I mean, Rick, you said they'd make a run, and they did. I mean, they cut it to 3 or 4, but I think the story of the second half for Fenwick is how they responded to that run.
I agree.
And they could have caved, they could have folded, and they didn't. They hung on to it and extended that lead back. I think an underrated move just when DePaul was getting that run going is that little switch to that 1-3-1.
Great coaching move there.
Yep. And, I just kind of disrupted the flow of the game at that particular time, and it really set the tone going forward for, defensively for Fenwick.
54-53, Evanston ahead with 2 minutes to go from Winnetka. And Evanston shooting free throws. So the Central Suburban League hopefully will be decided when we get together Sunday. If not, it's going to be like a wild card, but we got to make the seeds on Sunday night.
Can we just turn into a radio broadcast now and just do the Evanston?
We got the brackets. We got the brackets up here. The games are going to be 1, 3, 5, and 7. The quarterfinals, they'll be streamed live on No Fans in the Stands TV. Tommy's got a website developed for that. It can be found on www.chipotleclashofchampions.com.
And we got to get the name squared away because people are going to be calling it the Chipotle Classic, and we're going to send everybody to the wrong site.
1:35 from Winnetka. Evanston up 1, and Notre is in an extended 1-3-1 zone. They took a 3 and buried it. A 4-point game.
It's like listening to Pat Hughes right here.
Mike Ellis just on the court right now as an extra player, just yelling at his plays to give me one stop. He's trying to will his team to victory. And they get a steal. They're on the break. They can't shoot. Oh, they throw it away, and he turned it over. Nutre's got the ball. Minute to go. 59-55. Does anything easy in high school? They throw it away again. Evanston's got the ball. They got a layup on the other end. Pete, are they going to shoot a three? Are you kidding me? And he buries it.
Buried the three.
Ouch. That's a big win for Evanston. They're up 7 with 43 seconds to go. Okay, everything we've said here on tonight's broadcast cannot be replayed without the express written consent of Tom Molitor and Dot Productions.
Does that include the fact that we just took somebody else's game and put it on our stream?
Yeah, you got to be able to take something. But we will be back next week. We're done unless, you know what, if that Notre Glenbrook South game is going to determine the Central Suburban League of who gets in the Chipotle Clash of Champions, I think we got to do that game. I think we got to get a sponsor. These games cost $2,500 a game. We need a sponsor. Who wants the sponsor?
Malnati's a sponsor.
Malnati's is going broke. Malnati's going broke. Go out and eat some pizza. Help us out.
That's a lot of pizzas per game.
A lot of pizzas. But you're eating Greek food all the time anyway, Nick. And we did find out Nick's ACT. Remember we had that question?
Oh, no, don't say it.
We found it. 35.5. He missed a couple questions.
Yeah, I got the decimal.
Okay.
That's right. They wouldn't round up for me though.
We need to head out, Joe. You got to get home, get a bottle of wine cracked open, smoke a couple cigars, call Porter about TY, saying we got to work on his jumper a little bit so he can start next year.
Yeah, Loyola rolled today, going into the semifinals and down in the Missouri Valley Conference tournament. Two Illinois teams in the tournament.
No surprise. Okay, so for the young Bob Costas, the Greek origin, Nick Magas, the guru of Illinois high school basketball from the recruiting circles, Joe Henricksen, and the guy that got everything wrong today. Every comment was wrong. The old coach, Rick Malnati. We are signing off from Fenwick, and we will see you again Saturday, 1 o'clock in the Clash of Champions.
Friday.
Let's
make sure they're going on the right day.
One more thing wrong.
You know what? Hey, when you're just batting zero, you just got to keep it going. So we are signing off from Oak Park, Illinois. Have a great day.